So we're back in the motorcycle killing fields today, aka my workshop. And while the 890 is all stripped down, we have something cool to talk about, and that is Rekluse RadiusX 4.0 clutch that's going into 890. So I've had Rekluse clutches for a long time, ever since the Z-Start Pro, probably in 2008 or so, maybe 09. Some of the Radius CX 3.0s. I've got a 4.0 in my 450, and this is the RadiusX 4.0 that's going in the 890. Rekluse clutches kind of get a bad rap, and we're going to go into that. Why they get a bad rap, why people don't like them, that sort of thing. And I can tell you it's not because of the quality of the product. Their machining is outstanding. All of their equipment is just as high-end as it gets. They make really, really good stuff. The reason it's a bad rap is a lot of the tunability. People don't know that they can tune these clutches. So you have somebody in your dirt bike club or on the trail, slap one on their bike, they don't do any tuning in it, and it's good enough for them, but then a higher level guy goes, I want to hop on your bike and try it, and they go, yeah, the engagement feels kind of weird, it's kind of jerky, I can't tell when I'm in the friction zone, stuff like that. Well, these have springs in here that you can swap out to change the engagement. You can also set the free play gain internally or externally, depending on what clutch you're running. What's new about these 4.0s is that there are ramps that taper on these EXP rings. So when this spins, the force of this spin pushes the weights out, it expands the pack, it engages or disengages the clutch. Now, the weight that controls how fast it does that is with these springs. So Slavens has got some really good videos on tuning these clutches. And if you've never tuned a Rekluse before, it's the difference between never like jetting a dirt bike before. You go from like, oh yeah, the bike runs fine, to like, whoa, I didn't know this was on the table. So if you get one of these, make sure that you go through the tuning process, get a couple extra springs, they're a few bucks, put them in, take them out, super easy to change, and see what works best for your application. Now you're probably going, Brooks, just learn how to ride with the clutch. I know how to ride with the clutch, but with what I'm doing in my use case, this is going to be a huge benefit for me. So if I need to go set up to get some content on the trail, I'll take this bike out filming with other people, I need to be able to pull up to a tree, a fence post, something, lean the bike up against it, get off, get the shots, get back on the bike and go as quickly as I can. Eventually, I'm going to bypass the kickstand switch on this so I can leave the bike running in gear, put the kickstand down real fast, go get my content, get back on the bike and go. That saves a lot of time when you have to, compared to having to figure out where neutral is. These bikes are bare to find neutral in. You put the kickstand down with them in gear, they shut off. It's just, it's not fun, you know? It's just, why would you settle for that when you have products that can make it better? Now, an extra benefit of this is that it actually gets the power down to the wheels better than your stock clutch can. The way these are engineered to expand, and Rekluse's entire goal with this was engagement and connecting the power to the ground. So I don't know all the engineering nitty-gritty behind it and how it does that. I would assume most of it has to do with the way that these EXP rings expand now, which, by the way, if you have a Rekluse 3.0, you can buy a 4.0 EXP ring, throw that in there and you're good to go. But I do know with my 450, it was less likely to just blow the back tire off the bike. You can rip through the gears and it feels super, super planted. I've ridden 500s with them, I've ridden 300s with them. They feel more connected. Now, you can tune around a lot of other stuff, different back tires, pressures, all sorts of things. But when you get down to that isolated variable, which will be in this case the clutch, I don't think you can beat one of these for getting the power to the ground. Now, take that from a, KTM 300, YZ 450, anything like that, then make it 100 horsepower, twice the weight, and a DOT tire. Okay, getting that traction is a lot harder and it's a lot more important to focus on that. So when you're installing one of these, it's really not a hard thing to do. I can do it in 30 minutes. And I'm not a great mechanic by any stretch of the words. I don't even want to call myself a mechanic. I'm a shade tree hack. But I can figure it out. You have got drive plates in here. Hopefully the camera will focus on these. And you've got friction plates. And I believe with this one, I think the friction discs are either at the house or use the stock ones. Either way. Then you have your springs in here. You have the way that you set your free play gain in here. And then you have got, just throw that on the ground, clutch basket sleeves. All this is very easy to install. You need a set of calipers because the way that you install these drive plates is in a particular order that's documented in their instructions. So these are different thicknesses. There's some that are very thick and you can see the difference between them. And there's some that are only about 3 or 4 thousandths of an inch difference. And that's where you need some calipers for it. But if you just follow the instructions, it's a really easy thing you can do in your garage. I was very intimidated by it at first. I set my free play gain wrong. My clutch cable was jacked up. Figured that out. Good to go. Put some good oil in there. But if you've had a bad experience with the previous Rekluse, and I can't even say a bad experience, but a less than like perfect experience, I would recommend you try out a Rekluse Radius 4.0. Radius X, Radius CX, one of those. Those are their auto clutch lines. I think it's going to be a game changer with this bike, and we're going to shoot a lot of content for Rekluse on the install, photos and that sort of thing. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it'll be one of the most impactful modifications I can make to this bike.